Hey there everybody, Jerry here from Android Central, and we're looking at the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7 Plus. FedEx man just dropped it off here. First thing I thought when I looked at it is, boy, this really reminds me of the original 7-inch Galaxy Tab. And to be honest, that's a good thing. That's the right size for me, and I know it is for a lot of you guys too. So we're anxious to take a look at this thing. Let's shut the power off and have a look what we've got. On the front, you know, you've got 7 inches of glass. You've got a front-facing camera. The earpiece, interestingly enough, and there's a microphone on top and bottom. The hardware to use this for voice calls seems to be built in, you know, minus the radio. This is a Wi-Fi only version, so we'll have to see what hackers can do if anything is inside there. I don't know that it is, but it's interesting to me. You know, I'm just a nerd. On the top, if we're going to pretend that this is a landscape device, so we're calling this the top. You've got your power button. There's the volume rocker up and down. Infrared port. This does come with the Peel Smart Remote app, which I'm interested to take a look at. Like all guys, I love my clickers. On the back, you've got your rear camera and an LED flash. Over here, we've got the 3.5mm headphone jack. There's one of those microphones I was talking about. Flipper over to the bottom, and under this door, it's not that hard to take off, a slot for a micro SD card. I know a lot of you guys are worried about more storage on your tablets. Samsung has you covered. And then here, the bottom, the right, whichever you prefer, you've got 2 stereo speakers. You've got another microphone. If we can get the camera to see it, it's right there. And you've got the 30-pin proprietary connector. You know, that's the way it is. Proprietary isn't always bad, whether we like it or not. Turn it on, and it's Android 3.2 Honeycomb, just like we see on the 10-inch version. The innards are a little bit different. This is the Exynos processor, which I know interests a lot of you guys as well. 5 home screens that you can fill up with, you know, TouchWiz and Android widgets. Give a quick example here. There's the agenda widget. I am not signed into any services yet. Literally, this just came out of the box, and you can see there's the Samsung agenda widget. It does have the TouchWiz overlay, which isn't too intrusive on Honeycomb. You know, it adds a little bit. Most people seem to actually like it. Look here in the app drawer and see what extras this comes with. AllShare, Amazon Kindle, calculator, calendar, contacts, ebook, and email. TouchWiz apps that are included. You've also got all the Google stuff, Gallery, Gmail, Market, etc. Media Hub, that's from Samsung. Movie Phone and Memo. Memo is part of TouchWiz. Movie Phone is a third-party app we'll take a look at. Interesting that Google Music comes preloaded. My File, as well as the TouchWiz music player. My Files is a file manager app. Works pretty well, especially since it's bundled. It's good that it's useful. Next Issue, another reader. Pen Memo, photo editor, more TouchWiz apps. They all work fairly well, and we've had a look at them before, but we'll take another look. Pulse is included by default. The Samsung App Store. Galaxy Tab Screensaver. That's kind of interesting. The first time we've seen that. You can set it up so instead of just going black, you show a screensaver. I don't think that's all that useful. Some of you guys might. There's that smart remote from Peel. We'll be sure to have a look at that. I love my clickers. Social Hub, Task Manager, World Clock, more Samsung applications, as well as Google Talk with video chat. You know, it's all there. Go back home. Couple interesting features of TouchWiz in case you haven't seen them. That button takes a screenshot at any time. Yeah, your finger will hit it by accident a lot and your folder will get full. You've also got many apps that come up or down, and it doesn't matter what program you're in, as long as you have a status bar down here, you can get to these apps. Task Manager, Calendar, World Clock, Pen Memo, Calculator, Music Player. It's not customizable. You're kind of stuck with those 6. You open one, and it's a window on top of whatever you're working on. And when you're done, you just close it. Real quick, we want to look at the settings. As I mentioned, this does have the Exynos CPU. go here to About Device, and you can see it's the P6210 running Android 3.2, kernel 2.3.36, followed by a big long Samsung engineering screen or key. So, you know, all you guys that are a little bit on the geeky side, that's what numbers you've got. Everything else, this is all the new TouchWiz. You got things like power saving mode. You can enable when it shuts things down as the battery goes lower. Screen, a couple interesting things here. And this is part of TouchWiz. You have this on the 10-inch tab as well. You can choose your font. We've seen that on the Galaxy S2. You can set your wallpaper for your home screen and lock screen here. Go back mode. This is kind of neat. Dynamic, standard, and movie. It doesn't really show up on camera, but it does make a little bit of a difference to your eye. You know, how the screen is displayed, the saturation and the brightness. Everything else here, you know, everything we're used to. Language and input. Let's look at storage. You know, this tells you how everything is broken down and available. Out of the 16 gigs that, you know, it's advertised as, we have 12.96, you know, usable left with no SD card in it. And with that SD card, you can put a 32 gig in here. Anything else that's really, motion settings. We want to take a look at that. You can tilt to zoom, or you can pan to edit. What that does is it uses the gyroscope, and in apps like the web browser or the gallery, you can zoom in and out by tilting the device, or you can move this way to go back and forth. If somebody would sit down and take the time and get used to it, it's probably pretty handy. You know, we tend to jump around between devices so much, we never have time to learn anything here. Other than that, it's you know, what we would expect from Android, just done a little bit more, you know, colorful. That's the Samsung way, instead of the basic black. With the Exynos and the smaller resolution, we're curious how this thing will perform. Definitely gonna put it through the paces. You guys have any questions about it, you know, be sure to hit me up in the forums. You can find me and I'll do my best to answer them. In the meantime, you guys have a good one. I'm out of here.